Infield to the 48-yard line. It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2. And now they will throw it with Burrow. And Burrow going to slide to the ground as he does pick up the first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it and run time, and he picks up a first down.
Here we go.
They'll run on first down. Mixon. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They go play action with Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos 21.
But Charles, what a rookie season he had catching the football, over 1,000 yards on the year, and he comes through there with a nice grab.
And we've seen wide receivers in recent years come in and have big years right away. And you think about Justin Jefferson in 2020, 1,400 yards and huge impact on his team and on the league. This guy, he's following his footsteps as an impact guy here in year 1.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
40 yards rushing for him now as he has started this wild card round with a flourish. Scoring first, so critical in the postseason. They've got it here, 1st and goal. Burrow giving it to Mixon on the option.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
They'll look to run with Evans. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown.
Chris Evans.
A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Bengals will strike first here, this wild card matchup. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
And he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, Charles, you talk about this offense, and you think about the man in charge, their head coach, this marking his first ever playoff game as the head coach, and you wonder what's going through his mind right about now.
Brandon, I think we both agree that he's had a great season, and we wouldn't be surprised at all to see him get plenty of Coach of the Year votes. I thought he took the right tone in his weekly press conference, though. Played it cool, took the reserved angle, and when you don't have the track record, I think that's the exact right way to do it.
14.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Trey Hendrickson in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. After 7-0 on EA Sports. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. I mean, look, they're on the road, so getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal. That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. On 2nd and very short, Burrow. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. Actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
52 yards rushing for him in this first half, as he has certainly carried over his regular season success into the playoffs.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throwing into the hands of Sample.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Eluding the pressure right. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
Burrow going to fake to Mixon and now look to throw.
Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
To the air again, Burrow. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. This pass complete to Higgins. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs.
They'll give it to Mixon. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Another try for Mixon. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals.
Joe Mixon.
A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that'll make the score 14-0.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Throwing is Wilson.
That's complete. Okurebunam.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. But despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down. Final play of the half, it's Wilson.
They'll get that complete to Albert O.
So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game.
Dante Pettis now from his end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, had he opted for the touchback.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
And, Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering, how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
From midfield now, here's Wilson.
That's out to the flat for Gordon.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be a second down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. But the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson.
Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now Gordon on 1st down. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
On 2nd down, Gordon once more.
Gordon loses the football. It's loose. And the Bengals grab it. The 40. He's at the 30. 10, 5. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. So a great play there by the defense. If these guys are going to advance, and it looks like they will, this defense a big reason why.
And they love carrying the mantle for this team, don't they? You see the way that they move around out there? They want to lead this team deeper into the playoffs and hopefully onto the Super Bowl.
And that return for a touchdown certainly helps that cause.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that makes the score 21-0. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10.
And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off near the 42. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
73 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple, down to the 15-yard line.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
A first carry for Samaje Perine. He will push his way down to about the 14. Another 2-yard gain there, but they'll need to do better this time. It's 3rd and 6.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On third down, Burrow. And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time has run out on this third quarter of play. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
McPherson's kick is good.
And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Flushed out right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They go play action now. Wilson. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 31-yard line. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Melvin Gordon, a 12-yard touchdown run.
And the Broncos are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
Russell Wilson now will bring his guys up to go for 2. Wilson going to throw for it. That's caught. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away.
And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And they are looking good. A 2-score lead here in this 4th quarter as they hope to capture a spot in the divisional round next weekend.
1st down. Here's Burrow. That's the tight end Hurst with it. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Big 13. 11 MT. 11 MT. Choose the mark. Check. Choose the mark.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase, 63 yards. And the Bengals continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Saying their fans here are stunned would be an understatement. Things in this wild card round have not gone according to plan. Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. Pettis once again the target, and that'll bring up second down. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Trey Hendrickson able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening. The Broncos on third down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be third and forever. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. Taken from just outside the 30. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And their fan base at this point has to be thinking, is this finally the year we once again taste success in the playoffs? They're not there yet, but it's looking promising here in this fourth quarter. So no gain on the play, and that'll make it second and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Looking to throw again on second down. Burrow. This goes out wide for Mixon. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. The Burrow's throw here into the hands of Boyd. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive. And here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
12, 12, 12.
That one looks like he'll throw here. That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase, his second touchdown of the night. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead will swell by one more.
Broncos 8. Evan McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Play action. It's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Watch his flat. Watch his flat. No, check that. Check that.
Now it's Wilson. And now another one thrown incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Denver. He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. This will be fielded at the 17.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
And their fan base at this point has to be thinking, is this finally the year we once again taste success in the playoffs? They're not there yet, but it's looking promising here in this 4th quarter.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out, because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Here we go. 180. Plays hot. Punt. Mike 29. 11 MT. 11 MT. Watch the screen. 29 is Mike. Mike 29. 11 Thomas. Under 10. Under 10.
From the 31, Burrow escaping the pressure right.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I know you're thinking it, but I'll just go ahead and say it. To give you an idea of how sharp he's been in this game, just his 2nd incompletion, and we're in the 4th quarter.
He has been locked in, laser-focused all throughout this one, hasn't he?
Certainly has, and he's gotten some help from his receivers as well. They also are locked in.
Yeah, the drops have been at a bare minimum.
They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game, check, got that done. Win a wild card game, big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there